Hello students. So this is the lecture from Physics Group 2. The course code here is 3110018. It is a course in semester 2 2019-20 and this is as per GTU syllabus. My name is Dr. Sanjay Kumar Singhar. I am Associate Professor of Physics in General Department Ali College Morbi. So today we will discuss about Hall effect. So before discussing Hall effect, we must understand right hand rule. So this rule applies to a charge moving in a magnetic field. So here you can see a figure. In this figure we have a plus charge, and this plus charge is moving in this direction with a velocity v, and this charge is being put in a magnetic field capital B, as you can see over here. Then there will be a force acting onto this, and this force will be given as qv cross b, or in magnitude we can write F is equal to qbb sine theta, as you know from your 12th classes. So here you know that there is a rule for this, that in which direction, if you have a charged particle and if this particle is moving in a magnetic field, then in which direction the force will be applying. So in order to determine the direction of the force, we have to apply a right hand rule. So according to this rule, you have to open your right hand in such a way that your thumb is in the direction of plus charge plus q. So the direction of v will be the direction of the thumb. Then your fingers will be in the direction of the magnetic field. Then your palm will give you the direction of the force over here. So this is the right hand rule. So in this direction of force, the positive charge will move. So we have to understand this rule in order to understand the Hall effect. So let us define Hall effect. The Hall effect is the production of a voltage difference, which we call Hall voltage, across a current carrying conductor in presence of magnetic field, and this Hall field is perpendicular to both current and magnetic field, as you can see in this figure below over here. So there is a seat over here, you can see there is a seat over here, and we are introducing current through this battery over here. So when the current is being flowing over here, and this seat along with the current flow is being put in a magnetic field, and this magnetic field is perpendicular to the direction of the flow of the current. Then, as I told you just now, that if you have a charged particle, you know current means charged particle. When a charged particle is moving in a magnetic field, then there will be a force on that charged particle, and because of that force, the charge will move sideways over here. So the charge will be collected over here. So we'll get a electric field, and finally the potential difference, and this potential difference, which we call VH or Hall voltage, can be measured by just putting the knobs across this slab. Now we'll see a video on Hall effect. So as you can see in this video, This video has been taken from YouTube. We are having the magnetic field here. As you can see, NS, north and south poles are there. So this they are producing magnetic field, and there's a metal plate in between. There's a metal plate in between and metal or semiconductor slab over here. So we are applying the current across this slab. As you can see from the red dots, this is the flow of the electrons, but the flow of the positive charge will be opposite to the flow of electrons. You must know that. And applying the current in one direction and perpendicular to this, we are applying the magnetic field. As you can see these lines. So when the charged particle is moving in the presence of magnetic field, then there will be a magnetic force as per the right hand rule, and these charges will be deflected to the sides. As you can see, then on the sides of the plate there is an accumulation of electrons, and on the other side there is a deficiency of electrons, so it means that you are getting a positive charge on that side. So this positive and negative charge across the slab will develop an electric field, and finally the Hall potential difference, which we call Hall voltage, which can be measured. So this effect is known as Hall effect, and this Hall voltage can be measured with the help of a voltmeter just by connecting the knobs over there across the slide. Let us move on to the next slide. Let us try to go into the details of this, but as I told you again, you know that suppose we are having a slab of a metal or a semiconductor in which we are having electrons over here, and you can see we are having the positive charge carriers. They can be holes. So you know that if we have plus charge, this is the direction of the flow of the current. The width of the slab is W over here. This slab is being put in the magnetic field, which you can see by these crosses over here. The meaning of the cross is that the magnetic field is perpendicular to this slab and into the slab. So this is the direction of the this is the direction of the magnetic field, which has been shown by the cross. Okay, these are the 2 points X and Y across which we can measure the voltage. So this plus charge, when it is moving downward, as the direction of the current is taken as the direction of the positive charge, so you can see that when this positive charge is drifting with a speed which we call Vd, so as you can see here that there is a plus charge over here, and this plus charge is moving down with the drift velocity Vd, uh, and this charge is moving in the magnetic field, which is cross over here, which is into the strip. So open your right hand in such a way so that your fingers are in the direction of the magnetic field. Your thumb is in the direction of positive charge, so you see that if you are opening your right hand, the thumb will be downward, the fingers will be into the board, then your palm, आपकी हथेली फोर्स के डायरेक्शन को दिखा देगी। तो ये सारे पॉजिटिव चार्ज यहाँ पे जाके इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे, ठीक है। तो अगर आपके मटेरियल के अंदर मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स प्लस चार्जेज हैं तो प्लस चार्ज यहाँ पे आ जाएगा और इसकी डेफिशिएंसी मतलब नेगेटिव चार्ज इधर आ जाएगा। तो इस डायरेक्शन में हॉल वोल्टेज सेटअप हो जाएगी। लेकिन अगर आपकी मटेरियल में नेगेटिव चार्ज मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स हैं तो नेगेटिव चार्ज यहाँ पे कलेक्ट हो जाएगा और इसकी डेफिशिएंसी मींस मतलब पॉजिटिव चार्ज यहाँ पे आ जाएगा। तो इस डायरेक्शन में आपका हॉल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड सेटअप हो जाएगा। सो यू कैन सी दैट दिस इफेक्ट this effect was discovered in the year of 1879 by Edwin Hall. He showed that the moving conduction electrons in a conductor or semiconductor can be deflected by a magnetic field. The buildup of charge along the right side of the strip and a corresponding deficiency of charge of that sign on the opposite side of the strip. जैसे मैंने बताया आपके अगर मान लो आपके सिस्टम में मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स प्लस चार्जेज हैं तो प्लस चार्जेज यहाँ पे आके इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे और इसकी जो डेफिशिएंसी है वो नेगेटिव चार्ज वो यहाँ पे आके इकट्ठा हो जाएगा। Now what this will do, this will produce an electric field EH across the strip as shown in the figure, and a Hall potential difference or Hall voltage will exist across the strip. This effect is called Hall effect. So as you can see in this figure that suppose here you are seeing the negative charge. So अगर आपके सिस्टम के अंदर नेगेटिव चार्ज मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स हैं तो नेगेटिव चार्ज यहाँ पे इकट्ठा हो जाएगा इस साइड में, मतलब वाई पोजीशन में इकट्ठा हो जाएगा और इसकी जो डेफिशिएंसी है मतलब पॉजिटिव चार्ज है वो इस एक्स पोजीशन में मतलब इस साइड में इकट्ठा हो जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे एक्स पोजीशन में प्लस चार्ज और वाई पोजीशन में नेगेटिव चार्ज होने की वजह से हॉल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड सेटअप हो जाएगी and you will get the Hall potential difference across these 2 points. Okay, so you know that there is a relationship between potential difference and electric field, and you know that electric field is equal to delta VH. A volt is divided by the distance, so here W is the thickness, which is the distance over here, so EH is equal to delta VH upon W, or you can say VH, delta VH means Hall potential difference is equal to EH into W. EH is the Hall electric field, W is the width of the strip. This can be measured by connecting the leads of the voltmeter to a point X and Y. तो यहाँ पे आप अपना voltmeter X and Y पे connect करके Hall potential difference आप measure कर सकते हैं। अब यहाँ पे जो सबसे important है वो ये है कि the sign of the Hall voltage gives the sign of the majority charge carriers, and the magnitude of the Hall voltage will give the charge density of majority charge carriers. तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि अगर आपके सिस्टम के अंदर अगर मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं जैसे कि यहाँ पे दिखाया गया है तो नेगेटिव चार्ज यहाँ पे आ जाएगा और पॉजिटिव चार्ज यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, तो आपका हॉल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इस डायरेक्शन में सेटअप हो जाएगा। लेकिन अगर रिवर्स सिचुएशन है, मान लो अगर आपकी सेमीकंडक्टर के अंदर मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स होल्स हैं तो होल्स का मतलब ये हुआ कि प्लस चार्ज यहाँ पे आएगा और नेगेटिव चार्ज यहाँ पे आएगा। तो विद द हेल्प ऑफ द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द हॉल वोल्टेज वी कैन डिटरमाइन वेदर विद इन दिस स्ट्रिप और दिस सेमीकंडक्टर what kind of majority charge carriers are there. और इस हॉल वोल्टेज का जो मैग्नीट्यूड है उससे हम उसकी चार्ज डेंसिटी निकाल सकते हैं. So as the charge carriers drifts with drift velocity vd, they are vd suffix में यहाँ पे v is for velocity, d for drift, so it is vd, drift velocity. They are deflected to the right by the magnetic field as shown in figure. अब यहाँ पे नेगेटिव चार्ज है, मान लो मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स, तो ये राइट साइड में डिफ्लेक्ट होंगे राइट हैंड रूल से, और इसका मैग्नीट्यूड किससे दिया जाएगा, क्यू बी बी साइन थीटा. थीटा कितना है यहाँ पे वी डी और कैपिटल बी के बीच में 9. देखो आप वी डी ऊपर की ओर है और बी जो है वो इनटू द स्ट्रिप है, तो दोनों के बीच एंगल कितना हो गया 90 डिग्री. तो फोर्स किधर लगेगी, इधर वाई पॉइंट की तरफ फोर्स लगेगी क्यू बी, और इसका मैग्नीट्यूड कितना होगा क्यू बी बी साइन थीटा. ठीक है, तो आप देख रहे हैं कि जैसे जैसे ये फोर्स लगेगा एज द चार्ज जिस कलेक्ट ऑन द राइट साइड, वैसे वैसे जो है वो राइट साइड में, मतलब इस साइड में चार्ज कलेक्ट होता चला जाएगा. नाउ इस साइड में नेगेटिव चार्ज कलेक्ट होता चला गया और इस साइड में पॉजिटिव चार्ज कलेक्ट होता चला गया, तो ये हॉल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड डेवलप हो गई. मतलब अब ये हॉल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड के कारण एक और फोर्स लगेगा. जब ये फील्ड मैक्सिमम हो जाएगी तब इस पे आपको मालूम है कि जो इलेक्ट्रिक फोर्स होता है F इज इक्वल टू क्यू इंटू ई होता है. अगर Q नेगेटिव है ना, तो यहाँ पे आपको इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में ये एक फोर्स लगेगा Q इंटू ई एच. ठीक है, और ये इस चार्ज को अब इधर नहीं जाने देगा. ओके, so they set up an electric field that acts inside the conductor to oppose the sideway motion of the additional charge carriers. मतलब यहाँ ऑलरेडी इतने नेगेटिव चार्ज इकट्ठे हो गए तो एक सैचुरेशन की स्थिति बनेगी ना, तो वो और चार्जेस को इधर नहीं जाने देंगे because of this electric field. Okay, they set up an electric field that acts inside the conductor to oppose the sideway motion of additional charge. So you will see that equilibrium is quickly reached and the whole voltage reaches to its maximum, and therefore sideways electric force, which is Q into EH, will be balanced by the sideways magnetic force, which is FB. मतलब इक्विलिब्रियम की कंडीशन में ये दोनों फोर्स बराबर हो जाएंगे, और जब भी ये किसी पार्टिकल पे दोनों फोर्स लगते हैं तो उस फोर्स को हम लॉरेंज फोर्स बोलते हैं. So therefore the Lorentz force on the majority charge carriers will be 0 because the net force is 0, that is Q into EH, मतलब electric force plus QVD cross B, the magnetic force. Okay, the net is equal to 0. So or in magnitude में हमने नेगेटिव साइन हटा दिया है क्योंकि हम सिर्फ मैग्नीट्यूड देखना है. So EH means whole electric field will be equal to VD, drift velocity, into the magnetic field strength. We know that the drift speed is given as with this formula. You know that J is the current density here, N is the density of charge carriers, E is the charge on the electron or charge on the hole. So Vd is the drift velocity. This is coming from J is equal to NeVd, as you know. So Vd is equal to J by Ne, where J is the current density in the strip and N is the density of majority charge carriers. The current density is the current per unit cross section area of the strip. If T is the thickness of the strip, then its cross section area will be W into T. तो ये आपको मालूम है कि W थिकनेस है, विड्थ है स्ट्रिप का, और T थिकनेस है, तो W इंटू टी उसका क्या देगा, क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया बता देगा आपको. ठीक है, तो इसकी वैल्यू अगर हम सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देंगे इक्वेशन 3 से इक्वेशन 2 में, ये वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट करते हैं आप. एंड यू नो दैट दिस EH अभी हमने पीछे देखा था, we have seen in the last slide that this EH is equal to delta VH upon W. So put this value here and put this value here. So we'll get now delta VH upon W is equal to J by NE by putting the value of BD into B. So this is equation 4. So now you can get delta VH is equal to J B W will come here upon NE. तो यहाँ पे हम एक चीज़ डिफाइन करते हैं जिसको हम हॉल कोफिशिएंट बोलते हैं. दिस इज गिवन बाय RH. दिस इज इक्वल टू 1 by NE. So delta VH, this implies that delta VH will become now 1 upon NE की जगह उठा के क्या रख दिया RH. So RH multiplied by JBW. Okay. So from here we can find RH is equal to delta VH divided by JBW. And you know that since this J is the current density, means that the current per unit area, so we will write here current I and the area will go up, so delta VH into A divided by IBW. Okay, and you know that this area is W into T, so delta VH into W into T is divided by IBW. So WW will cancel here, so delta VH into T upon IB. So we get this equation number 5, which we will use to find the Hall coefficient. And therefore the charge density will be equal to, because you know that this RH is, we have written over here, this RH is equal to 1 by NE. So when you are putting this 1 by NE, okay, 1 by NE, and taking the inverse of this, so NE will go up. Okay, so we will get this IB will come here, and delta VH into T will come down, and E is coming from here, so it is it is E. So we'll get the charge density N is equal to IB divided by delta VH into T into E. This is equation number 6. This we will use to find the density of majority charge carriers. Here the most important thing is that the sign of delta VH tells us the nature of majority charge carriers. मतलब ये है कि डेल्टा वी एच का जो भी साइन आएगा वो आपको ये बताएगा कि इस मटेरियल के अंदर मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं या होल्स हैं. So if you are getting this sign plus, it means that the majority charge carriers are holes. If you are getting a negative sign, it means that the majority charge carriers are electrons. Okay, so this is very important point. For silicon material, which is a semiconductor and which is n-type material, the value of n is typically 10 power 21 per meter cube, and the sign of delta VH comes out to be negative because it is n-type material, signifying that the majority charge carriers in it are electrons. Now let us discuss about this Hall mobility. So in semiconductors there may be substantial contributions from both electrons and holes. Therefore let us take the total. The total current density in a semiconductor can be given as this. So you know that this is the total current density. J is equal to Jn plus Jp. Okay, I should write here holes actually. Okay, for positive, this is taken for positive charge which can be hole, and this is for negative charge. Okay, so negative charge is basically electron and the positive charge is basically hole over here. So J is equal to, you know, Q E and E V D, and this is for electron. This is the drift velocity for electron. This is the charge density of electrons. This is the charge on the electrons, okay, which is all negative charge here. Now plus Jp is the current density for positive charge carriers. So here they are holes, so plus QH and H VDH. QH is the charge on the holes, NH is the density of positive charge carriers that are holes, and VDH means the drift velocity of the holes. And you know that this VDE is equal to mu E into E, and VDH means drift velocity for holes is equal to mu H into electric field. So here you know that the mu is the mobility of the respective charge carriers. Okay, so here you can see that mu is the mobility of electrons and mu h is the mobility of holes. Now we can write these two equations. So J and E, in place of Vd we are writing mu into E from equation 9. In place of VDH we are writing mu h into E from equation number 9. So this E is we can take common. So E is taken outside, so we are getting this equation QE NE mu E plus QH NH mu H. Further, the magnitude of charge on electron is equal to the magnitude of charge on hole. So we can take this Q outside. This is taken as QE is equal to QH is equal to Q basically. So Q is taken outside. So we are putting this Q outside. So Q is taken outside. So what is left now within the bracket? NE mu E plus NH mu H. And the bracket closed into E. And you know that there is a formula which is having the relation between the current density, the electric field and the electrical conductivity, and this is given as J is equal to sigma E, which is Ohm's law basically. So if you compare equation 10 and equation 11, you will get sigma is equal to Q and E mu E within the bracket plus NH mu H, and resistivity is actually the inverse of the conductivity. So we can write resistivity, यहाँ थोड़ा gap आ रहा है, इसको ignore करें please. Resistivity rho is equal to 1 by sigma, which is conductivity. So we can write rho is equal to 1 by Q within the bracket NE mu E plus NH mu H, bracket closed. For n-type semiconductors, the density of negative charge carriers, that is electrons, is much greater than the density of positive charge carriers, as all of us know. So here the density of negative charge carriers is much more than the density of the holes. Then we can ignore the NH, the component having NH, because this is very less as compared to this Ne. So rho is equal to 1 by Q Ne mu E, and you know that 1 by Q and E is Hall coefficient, which is RH, so RH divided by mu E, and sigma is the conductivity, is equal to 1 by rho, 1 by resistivity, so it is Q and E mu E. From here just inverse this, and this will become now mu E will go up and mu E by RH. So from here, from this equation here, you can write mu E means the electron mobility is equal to RH into sigma. Okay, so you see here mu E by RH. So look at this and look at this sigma. So this RH will be multiplied by this sigma. So RH into sigma will give you mu E, which is electron mobility. For p-type semiconductors, the density of positive charge carriers, that is holes, is much greater than the density of negative charge carriers, that is electrons. Therefore, you can see here NH is much greater than Ne. So the term in the previous slide which is containing Ne can be ignored. Okay, so we are getting the resistivity 1 by QNH mu H, and QNH is nothing but the Hall coefficient, so RH by mu H, and you know sigma is equal to 1 by rho, so this term will go up and this will go up here, so mu H by RH. Now look at this and look at this. So sigma into RH will give you Hall mobility over here. So mu H is equal to RH into sigma. Now let us take one example on this Hall mobility. So there is a question here, given a silicon sample of unknown doping, Hall measurement provides the following information. W is given as 0.05 centimeter. A is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 3 centimeter square. The current flowing is 2.5 milliampere and the magnetic field is 30 nanotesla. If a Hall voltage of plus 10 millivolt is measured, find the Hall coefficient, conductivity type, majority carrier concentration and mobility of the semiconductor. Given here, the resistivity of the semiconductor is 1.1 ohm centimeter. So you should know that the resistivity, the unit of resistivity is ohm centimeter, or this can be ohm meter. So depending on the situation, you can convert in from ohm centimeter to ohm meter. Okay. Now from equation 5, we know that the Hall coefficient is given by this formula, delta VH upon JBW. Delta VH is the Hall voltage, J is the current density, B is the applied magnetic field, W is the width of the strip. Okay, so we can write this here. If I multiply uh, delta VH, and this can be converted into, because this J is equal to I by A, this is the current density and this is I by A, so I will come here, A will go up. Now we can put the formula of the values over here. The delta V is 10 millivolt, so millivolt is converted into volt, so 10 into 10 power minus 3 volt, and the area is given in centimeters square, so we have taken just centimeter square, so 1.6 into 10 power minus 3 centimeter square. We are not converting this into meter square, remember this. So other things also will take in terms of centimeter. Then we have milliampere. The current given is 2.5 milliampere. So we convert this into ampere. 2.5 into 10 power minus 3 ampere. Then the magnetic field given here is 30 nanotesla. So 30 nano means 10 power minus 9. So this is 30 into 10 power minus 9 Tesla. But since we are using CGS system here, means you are measuring the things in centimeter gram second, then you cannot use MKS unit of magnetic field. Tesla is the unit of magnetic field in MKS system. So we have to convert this into Gauss, which is a unit of magnetic field in terms of CGS system. So 1 Tesla is 10 power 4 Gauss. So we are multiplying here this to 10 power minus to 10 power 4 plus 4 Gauss. Okay, and this is in the W is given is 0.05 centimeter. So we are taking just this 0.05 centimeter. When you solve this, you will be getting RH, Hall resistivity, is equal to 426.66 something, but this is now 426.7 centimeters cube per coulomb. So this is the value. This is the value of Hall coefficient, and these are the units of the Hall coefficient. Remember this. Now we can find the density of majority charge carriers, which is given by simply the formula. You know that RH is equal to 1 by NE or 1 by NQ. So RH is taken here. So and NH is gone here. So NH will be equal to 1 by RHQ. So 1 by RH we have just found 426.7. This is in terms of CGS system, and the charge on the electron or hole is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So when we are solving this, we are getting the charge density 1.46 into 10 power 16 per centimeter cube. So this is the density of the charge carriers. Okay, now comes here why we are saying that the majority charge carriers are holes here, because you know that since the Hall voltage is positive, क्योंकि इस क्वेश्चन में हॉल वोल्टेज क्या दिया है, पॉजिटिव दिया है, therefore the Hall coefficient will be positive and therefore this semiconductor will be a p type semiconductor. अगर ये हॉल वोल्टेज नेगेटिव दिया होता तो यहाँ पे मेजॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स कैसे होते, then they would have been electron, लेकिन पॉजिटिव दिया है इसलिए the majority charge carriers are holes. Okay, resistivity of p type semiconductor now we can find. So rho is equal to 1 by q and h, mu h. So we can write this mu h is equal to 1 by q and h, and this row will come down. So put this value, q is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, and h we have just calculated from here. So 1.46 into 10 power 16, and the row is in ohm centimeter, so it is already given in ohm centimeters. So don't convert this into ohm meter, because we are doing the things in the CGS system. Okay, so when we solve this, we are getting this 389 centimeters square per volt second. So we got the Hall mobility over here. Actually, this don't be confused with mu small h and capital H, because this is Hall mobility, the mobility of holes, or you can say HALL, Hall mobility. Okay, so you can write as mu small h also. This no problem in that. Now let us try to understand the Hall effect experiment which our students do in the laboratory. So you can see block diagram over here. So in this block diagram you can see there are two poles here. You can see okay, these are small poles, but the real thing is inside, because we are having the electromagnetic kind of system. So these are the current carrying wires here. Here also the current carrying wires. This is the coil actually. So we are applying the current over here. So when you put current in a current carrying coil or a conductor, then the magnetic field will be generated, as you know that. Okay, तो हमारे पास दूसरा क्या चीज़ है, we have a, you can see here, this is a semiconducting, this is a strip of the semiconductor. This can be p type or n type. Okay, and there are four probes you see here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. So you know that the two probes are basically for current, and another two probes are to measure the magnetic field. Okay, so what we are doing, we will put this strip here. Okay, and after putting this strip here, we will apply the magnetic field. So we are actually putting this semiconducting material, this semiconducting strip, in the magnetic field, and this magnetic field is provided by the constant current power supply. So we are putting the current in these coils, so they will produce magnetic field. So this strip is being put in the magnetic field. That is one thing. What is another thing? Another thing is that across this strip, uh, in terms of length, if we are saying across the length of the strip, we will be applying current in this. So we will apply current here. So you can see here the current. So we are applying current across the length of this, and you know that when a strip is being put in magnetic field, and as well as we are providing current across the length of that, then the Hall voltage will be developed across the width of this. Okay, so this Hall voltage will be measured by this Hall effect setup. So Hall voltage will be measured, okay, across these two knobs, as we have discussed already in theory part. Okay, so this is the digital meter. When you are putting this knob onto current side, you will measure current. When you put this knob in the voltage side, you will measure the voltage. Okay, so by changing the current, the value of the current, we can change the value of the magnetic field, and we can measure that by Gauss meter. So what we have to observe in this experiment? So first of all, we are applying the magnetic field. So the value of magnetic field is to be measured by the Gauss meter. We can fix this value. We can put this any value. Okay, but once you are putting this value, don't change it. At least for 5-6 readings which you have to take. Okay, suppose we are fixing this for 600 Gauss. So applied magnetic field is 600 Gauss. Then what you have to again apply? You have to apply the current across the length of the strip. So that current you have to put here. Okay, so the suppose you are putting 1 milliampere, 2 milliampere, 3 milliampere, 4 milliampere, 5 milliampere, like that. Then you have to measure the Hall voltage here. So suppose you are putting 1 milliampere and you are getting some value of Hall voltage, and this Hall voltage will come across the width of the strip. Remember this, which you are measuring through the same Hall setup. So like this you will write the 5 values. Then you see here, this is Hall voltage. There are two columns here. One is for plus I, so the current is applied is same, but you can reverse the magnetic field. तो जब आप मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की वैल्यू रिवर्स करेंगे तो ये वैल्यू थोड़ी बहुत चेंज हो सकती है, बट इट मस्ट बी ऑलमोस्ट सेम. Okay, now you can take the average of these two values, average Hall voltage. Okay, and now you can calculate the value of Hall coefficient, which is given as VH into T divided by I into B. This value is given to you, T is given already. Okay, and B you are fixing here, and VH is coming from the average and I is here. So all these values of Hall coefficient you can calculate. So this you have done for one magnetic field. The same thing you can repeat for some other value of magnetic field. And the third is, you can again take the third value of the magnetic field and do the and measure the values here. So if you plot a graph between Hall voltage and the current, so the graph is being shown here for three values of magnetic field. For example, 600 Gauss, for B2 1200 Gauss, and for B3 1800 Gauss. Okay, so you can find the slope into T by B. So from the graph also you can find the value of Hall coefficient. Okay, here we have taken VH on the y-axis and I on the x-axis just for simplicity, but fundamentally we should take VH on the x-axis and I on the y-axis. But anyway, we are doing the calculations over here, so it is okay. Now I want to give you an idea of quantum Hall effect, just an idea actually. So you can see that we can see that this is the equation 5 basically. We are getting this from equation 5. So in this equation, left side has the dimension of resistance, which is also known as Hall resistance. Now if you plot Hall resistance versus B, फ्रॉम दिस इक्वेशन, इस इक्वेशन से आप देख सकते हैं कि अगर लेफ्ट साइड को हम B के साथ प्लॉट करें, मतलब अप्लाइड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के साथ प्लॉट करें हॉल रेजिस्टेंस को, तो ये स्ट्रेट लाइन आना चाहिए. देन इट मस्ट कम स्ट्रेट लाइन फॉर ए पार्टिकुलर मटेरियल एट ए पार्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर. लेकिन एक साइंटिस्ट हुए जिनका नाम था क्लॉस वॉन क्लेटजिंग. उन्होंने ये डिस्कवर किया कि हाई मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, और अगर हम मटेरियल को बहुत हाई मैग्नेटिक फील्ड पे ले जाएं और टेम्परेचर हमने उसका बहुत लो रखा है, मतलब नियर अबाउट 1 केल्विन, देन हॉल रेजिस्टेंस डिड नॉट इंक्रीज लिनियरली, है ना. इस फॉर्मूले के अकॉर्डिंग तो ये हॉल रेजिस्टेंस बी के साथ लिनियरली इंक्रीज करना चाहिए, लेकिन हाई मैग्नेटिक फील्ड और लो टेम्परेचर पर ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है. ओके, एज यू कैन सी फ्रॉम द फिगर. So you can see by low magnetic field पे तो Hall resistance की value almost straight line you can see. but when you are approaching towards high magnetic field, you are getting the steps over here. So this effect is known as quantized Hall effect. So what is the explanation for this quantized Hall effect? The explanation for these steps comes from the quantization of orbital motion of electrons. Okay, so this slide, if you want, you can ignore this because this is about quantum Hall effect. Okay, so there are applications of Hall effect. So there are various applications. The Hall effect is used as a magnetometer, that is to measure magnetic field. Hall effect sensor is also used as current sensor, magnetic position sensing in buses, DC electric motors, automotive fuel level indicator. We are using this Hall effect, and in spacecraft propulsion also the Hall effect is being used. Few other applications are also there. Magnetically actuated electronic switches for position and alignment detectors, speed controllers, and for ignition system. So these are the applications of the Hall effect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you have any question, please post on my Google classes. Thank you very much.